So this week in my clinic, my longtime patient came and sat down in front of me and said this. She said, "Doc, my skin feels like it's on a completely new planet. I have different texture, more fine lines, less bounce. And this is what drives so many people into my practice. Now I'm seeing sag," she said. Sag, all compared to just 1 year ago. How old is she? She's 48. Well, welcome to one of the biggest natural shifts skin ever goes through. Menopause and perimenopause, I will say. But if you're not at this stage in life, it's still pertinent to watch this video because you can prevent a lot of what's going to happen by starting early. Now, here is the good news because there's plenty of things you can do to look and feel your best. I'll give you my step-by-step plan today. What follows is roughly, give or take, my discussion that I had with her, just in case this is also what you are going through at home. Today, I'll go through a bit on lasers, all natural solutions, of course, inexpensive ones and some more expensive ones, and I'll touch on estrogen both in the cream form and in the bioidentical form. I'm Dr. Rajani with over 25 years of experience in minimally invasive aesthetic medicine. I've worked with thousands of patients here and around the world, and I train many providers on how to help their patients look and feel their best. For many of you out there today, you're investing in all these great skincare products. They're working well, but then out of nowhere, they just stop. Your skin stops responding to them. You feel dry patches, these wrinkles, and of course, breakouts is part of this. If you're noticing in your mid to late 40s, early 50s, that you're getting some breakouts, blemishes, maybe some pimples, this could be an indicator of what's happening. These hormonal shifts happen around the age of 45 to 55. You see the estrogen drops, and that leads to lower oil production, thus the dryness. Thinner skin, another big driver to practices, because when the skin thins, many changes occur. You see pores, things you might not think of. The pores get more, and blackheads get more visible when the skin thins, but it does. And of course, the unexpected acne. The presence of estrogen, that helps your skin retain water, and when that drops, you lose the plump, hydrated look, and it's a predictable event. That's kind of the problem here. Every female, if living long enough, will have no estrogen. As a completely side note here, I'm flabbergasted that there's so little to offer women in the way of research and definitive answers. It's an area we need to study more and more, because if I told you there was an event that half of the world gets, so that means all females will have this happen to them if they live long enough, and yet we know so little, and worse yet, you go into your local provider and they don't want to talk about it, and the symptoms are wide-reaching. Or they're misdiagnosed and go on the total wrong treatment path. But I digress from today's video. It's just a little pet peeve of mine, and it should be of yours. Let's get more information and awareness on what to do. Women need more guidance. Now, let's say you don't believe me. Well, there's one area of the body where this becomes very evident because it's a mucous membrane, and that is the lips. You see, estrogenized lips are more red. There's more blood flow. And when you lose estrogen, you start to get vertical lip lines because the fat pads diminish, the skin thins, then it gets dry, you get less oil production, and red lips attract. They go up and down with the hormonal cycles. But when there's no more cycles, the lips show aging. And we haven't even talked about bone and bone support. That's why today's video is so important. So here are exactly your steps, the conversation that I have in my clinic. Number one, hydration is absolutely key. Think of your skin like a sponge. When it's dry, it crinkles and shrinks, but with enough water, it plumps up. You want to look for moisturizers with things like squalane. I did a complete video on that, but also hyaluronic acid, a powerful humectant. It can add 1,000 times to its weight in water. It attracts water. That will help combat your skin dryness, but where does that water come from? From within. So you want to also hydrate your body. Think water. You can add a pinch of Himalayan pink salt Or better yet, get a glow-on-the-go drink like my ElectroGlow, which has vitamin C, it has silica, hyaluronic acid as a supplement, and much, much more. Number 2, think sun protection. Did you know sun damage is responsible for 90% of visible aging? So what you see on your skin that's aging you, 90% comes from excess sun. Even on cloudy days, UVA rays will penetrate the skin, breaking down your collagen. SPF every day is your best friend. Not everyone likes SPF, so think about sun blockers, think about umbrellas, sunglasses, and avoid being out in the sun at the times when it's most intense, like midday. Number 3, think supportive foods. Think of a rainbow of hydrating, nutrient-rich foods, and let's think real foods here. Think about shopping at the perimeter of your grocery store, not in the center. Avoid processed. You want to think of foods like cucumbers, oranges, leafy greens. They're going to hydrate you because they have a ton of water content, but they also have more oxidants than you probably know. Go organic if you can afford it. Number 4, topical estrogen cream. So you think here, estradiol. That's the most common one we use. Now these work. My patients, let's break this down. In my practice of people that go on estrogen creams, I would say 60% find it miraculous. I'd say 20 or 30% go, oh, that's a really nice difference. And 10% would say, I don't see a lot. So that's what you can expect. You've likely seen the hack of using the cream that's meant for down there used up here. So these are readily available and widely used, and they work well with your other products like retinols, glycolics. There's no real interaction here. You want to learn about layering them properly, but just keep in mind they are medicinal. So there's some controversy. Is there a little bit of absorption that occurs from the skin into the body? So definitely, I have whole videos on this. I do deep dives into this, but in general, you want some medical guidance if you're on an estrogen cream, and also things like melasma, if it's hormone dependent, could get worse if you're on these. But overall, they're well tolerated. It's a class of medications you need to know about. And yes, if people are on systemic, which we're going to talk about in a minute, hormone replacement therapy, the cream is still additive to rejuvenate your face. Number 5 is gua sha. This is all natural, inexpensive. It's an ancient Chinese technique. And when I'm in Asia, I look at people who are looking amazing, 50, 60, 70. Some people don't do a lot over there or have the means to do a lot, and they're doing gua sha. It's a common denominator, and that uses strokes of massage with a special device. I have one with LED lights and vibration built into it, but you can use inexpensive options for sure. And the key here is knowing how to do it, knowing the strokes, the types of movement, but you can use it for the neck, beautiful for sculpting the jawline, the cheeks, the under eye, the brow lift is one of the more common things that it's used for, and also the forehead. And remember, a lot of people don't believe in this stuff. Comment below if you don't or if you do, but here's the thing. I just talked about how estrogen increases blood flow, how it helps thinning of the skin, how it helps your bone structure. All of this, a good part of which is due to increased blood flow, increased nutrients to an area, and increased antioxidant activity and getting rid of oxidizing things. And gua sha fits all of those bills. It even can stimulate the bone depending how it's used. It's an important part of facial rejuvenation. It works great. And I actually built a whole multi-chapter course that's available online, and I add monthly tutorials to it. And there's a whole suite there, a blog area where people post and interact and talk about best practices. You can put your before and afters up. So gua sha is something I talk to my patients about. Now, number 6, I do have a conversation about hormone replacement therapy, BHRT, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. If skin issues are paired with other severe symptoms, your doctor, your regular doctor, might recommend hormone replacement therapy, which will help the skin plumpness and moisture. But it's not for everyone. So it's essential that you talk to your medical provider, and it's very complex. You got to look at your family history, your personal history. A lot is not known of the long-term effects of this, and a lot is known depending on your personal and family history. So it's complex, and really a big disservice was done with the Women's Health Initiative trial many years ago, and everyone in the early 2000s were taken off of hormone replacement therapy because of some erroneous interpretations of that large trial. So I did a complete video on that. I know this is complex. Here's what's more complex: finding a provider that will even talk to you about that. And I know this is problematic because everyone reaches out to me, be it someone's sister, mother, or girlfriend or wife struggling with this issue and not being able to find someone to provide the testing that will give them pellets, hormones, patches, creams, pills. It all exists. And I did a complete video. Now that video is about 45 minutes long, but it's important if you want to understand this issue, what it might mean to you, the history of it, and the options that are out there. It is one of the things I tell you to study. Overall, in the right patients, I'm a proponent of it. In terms of your skin, no question, people who are on it look younger, and keep in mind, we used to die earlier. So if you passed away at the age of 45, 50, most people didn't have an opportunity to have lack of hormones. Now, a 50-year-old woman might live to 100. That's not uncommon, especially for women. You live longer. So half of their lives will be hormoneless, without hormones. And this is newer in the last 50 years. So there isn't a lot of natural long-term data that we can draw from. So there will be unanswered questions when you go through this journey. It's part of it. But again, we need to push the medical community to study this and to pay attention. Keeping in mind, women will lose up to 30% of their skin's collagen during menopause and perimenopause. 30%. So that's what makes this such a dramatic change. I'll put my complete videos at the end of this video on both topical estrogen and systemic hormone replacement therapy, so you have something more to research. For those women that are out there in their mid-30s to mid-40s, this is when you want to start thinking about it. Think earlier, not later. Number 7, let's talk about Botox because it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. So many people are doing it, and it's the first thing people think of after skincare if they're getting fine lines and wrinkles, especially women, because you're exposed to it from influencer after influencer after influencer. And some people think I'm not a proponent of Botox. I'm not against it at all. I provide it to many patients in my clinic, but it's part of their bigger routine. Think going in a couple times a year. And the reason it's not a primary staple for me is because it does not build collagen. It doesn't get to the root of the problem. What it does is stops muscle movement. Do I think it's safe? I think it's very safe. Is it effective? It's very effective. But where people go wrong is they ignore collagen building treatments like at-home treatments, like RF, like microneedling, like retinols, like glycolics, all your great skincare, in lieu of Botox. So they'll just do Botox and not take care of their collagen building. And then one day, Botox just won't work anymore because a tiny bit of movement creates a ton of lines. So remember, Botox, Dysport's my favorite. They do not build collagen. They simply stop muscle movement. And at a certain point, that doesn't look great. Number 8, let's talk home remedies. These are growing. The graph is straight up. People want to do things at home. You should do things at home. Some people can do things that are the basics, great. Some people take it to the next level and are doing advanced treatments at home. I have no problem. If you're educated and you're comfortable with what you're doing and you're well-versed in it, go for it. Now, let's go through the top ones I think people should be on. Number 1 is peel pads. Think glycolics and retinols that are boosted in the form of peel pads. I have many videos on those. Number 2 in here, think LED masks. Red light and near infrared on a mask that sits on your face. I do like panels, but I think for the face, I see better results with masks because you get the exact dose in the exact areas of the face that you want, and you can use your panel with it. And if you only have a panel, that's great too. Don't worry. But I think LED masks are a huge part of at-home treatments. red and near infrared is what you're looking for. You do not want a poor quality mask that produces heat or the wrong wavelengths. Above near infrared, I see some masks over 1,000. I don't like that. I see melasma and dark spots from that. But if you're around 830, 630, you're doing good at those wavelengths. Next is RF, and home RF devices are great. You want to have one with safety mechanisms built in. I like the NUA RF. I have videos on that and a whole playlist on how to use it at home. But you want the key to look for with your home RF device. RF is great for at home because it's not a laser. It doesn't see color. It's heating. And you want it at below 42 degrees Celsius. You want a safety mechanism that shuts it off should it get too warm. And you want it bipolar. You don't want monopolar. The next great at-home device I like is micro needling. That's using a 0.25 millimeter derma roller is fine. You can use a stamp if you want, but you need a sterile solution to go with it unless you're dry rolling. I'll have more on this for you. I do like growth factors, and I have a product that has growth factors in it. I have something next level coming to you. A little bit of patience here, but I like microneedling, cold rollers, and of course we mentioned gua sha. Number 9, let's talk laser a little bit because I do like lasers. Lasers are specific wavelengths of light. So think CO2 lasers in the 10,000 nanometer range. Think erbium yags. You guys know many of these, like Tixels, Halo. Those are around 2,000 nanometers. Those are lasers. You need a great provider to do those for you because there are downsides. What you want to consider above these, for most people, are IPLs, intense pulse light, or photofacial, some people call them. I like those, and I have whole videos on those. Those are broad-based light that's filtered to specific wavelengths. Again, see an expert. Anything with lasers or IPLs can go wrong, but usually now with the new devices, they're relatively safe, especially for skin type 4 and below, my color and lighter. If you're really worried or you don't trust your provider, remember I mentioned home RF, you can do what I call fractionated RF. Viora has a VFR. There's one called plasma RF. That is radio frequency, electrical energy in little dots with skin that's untreated in between, so you get good healing. The benefit of that is, again, RF does not see color, so it's not like a laser, so it's good for all skin types. So if you're unsure of your provider, it's kind of dummy proof, although the results are really good. I like that sometimes better than lasers. Before we go on, since we're talking fat pads and increased blood flow, don't forget about platelet-rich fibrin. Yes, it's a blood drop, but it's all your own products, your own stem cells, growth factors, exosomes, and secretomes spun down with a specific centrifuge to concentrate them. It's 100% all you with no additives, no synthetics. Something called full face PRF seems to be taking off. I've done this in my clinic for years, and I recently did a video of Brian Johnson who used it for his under eyes. But yes, full face is an option where we saturate the existing fat pads and subdermal area, the area just beneath the skin. Keep that in mind. Some of you don't mind all natural injections. Let's move on. Number 10 might surprise you a little bit, but limit your alcohol and caffeine, especially around menopause. Doesn't mean you can't drink coffee. Doesn't mean you can't have alcohol, but people tend to drink more because they're a little more sedentary. Instead of drinking the 1 or 2 glasses of wine you used to have a night. I have patients that drink a bottle. Their husband and themselves will sit down and drink a bottle each per night. That's a little excessive for your skin. So watch your alcohol and caffeine intake. My solution for myself, I like a cold beer, sit down, watch a hockey game. What I'll often do is take soda water, and I put this many times on video. If I feel like that beer, I'll take soda water with a little bit of pomegranate. And if I have that and I'm like, I don't even need a beer. This was better. And I'm hydrated from it. And I take a tall glass of that. So think of alternative drinks. Doesn't mean you can't drink ever, but you want to consider that. Indeed, menopause is a natural part of life, and it comes with the changes we talked about. But you can manage them, even embrace them. You don't have to feel like you're at war with your skin. Instead, if you make these changes that I'm talking about, it's an invitation to tune in to what your skin is really telling you and what it needs. You just need to alter course from what you've been doing before. Here's the videos I promised you, one on bioidentical hormone replacement systemically and one on estrogen cream for your skin. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant. Comment below what's been working for you.